Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Friday morning show. My name's Laurette Nicoll. Next to me is my friend Matt Avery. MECUM in the Morning returns here at Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh. So, guys, we rolled up before the doors opened, and there is a line of fans of MECUM auctions around nearly the block. Matt, the energy in this place is amazing.
I tried to tell you, Laurette, and we saw a little bit of it yesterday. We saw even more today. It is just something unique about this area that the enthusiasts want to come out and get inside and be part of the MECUM experience, and I love it.
Me too. It's wild because they are lining up and they're ready and they're in a great mood and they're smiling and saying good morning as we're walking in. I'm like, this is going to be an amazing day. And, you know, it's just the start of so many fun things that are about to unfold here.
There really is, and I will say, as all those guests were streaming in, one of my favorites was a family, and all three of the kids were wearing their attire with the checkered race flags. It was awesome, and so I'm excited. I hope they have a great day. I know they're going to be out in the kids' adventure zone. But as you said, Laurette, there is so much going on here, and you have tuned in to MECUM in the Morning here on Friday at the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex. Lots in store with all of it centering on the energy of the auction block. Today we've got 47 pieces of great road art that are going to be the perfect addition for your special place, whether it be that garage, Laurette, the basement, or your shed, wherever you got to decorate, maybe a tree house.
Yeah,
maybe
like
a tree
that.
house.
Yep.
We also have not a tree house, that's silly, 263 great collector vehicles, cars, trucks, and even some wonderful motorcycles are all going to be crossing the block in 7 collections. And Laurette, I got to say, one of my favorites is the Jim Spangler collection. We're here by it, right behind the morning show sets, a bunch of great Camaros, big Camaro guy, but obviously take a look at all of the collections, carefully curated, and all of them crossing the block.
Yeah, but I think a carefully curated treehouse is also might be on the docket for some. Listen, sometimes people just need space. So if it's in a treehouse, amazing. And you have that option with all these incredible road art pieces. And, you know, I think I'm going back to the folks that have been lining up. They want to be a part of something that's so special, and MECUM allows that. And by being able to get up close to these unbelievable collector cars and road art pieces and being able to stand next to it and the memories that come flooding back. And I think that's really what MECUM has cultivated a lot of.
Yeah, and in case you're watching, you're wondering what is the road art opportunities here, Laurette. It's a good chance for us to talk about. That's all the great pieces that kind of accompany the road.
Sure.
Throughout the last 100 years, the gas pumps, the coin op, all of the wonderful, very mechanical games and toys and things that you would see when you're out experiencing this great country. We talked yesterday about Route 66, and I think a lot of the road art goes hand in hand with that, because again, it's the big flashing neons, many of which are functioning. A lot of the collectors that come out for those items, they, just like the cars, they want them looking like new. And it's always a walk back in time when you go through the road art division. It looks spectacular here. Tiffany and the team down there do a great job of showcasing those pieces. And it's also a good opportunity to talk about how we start our day here at the auction. Is we start with road art and then we transition to the vehicles.
Right. Yeah. You said it all perfectly. And it's just so much fun being able to stand next to it and take photos, of course. And something else that I really love is the event tee. So what we have is the event tee here for Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it's it's Saleen Mustang Fox body kit. And, I did a little bit of a deep dive on this. And in 1984, when the Saleen Mustang was released, they only did 3. And it was a hatchback. So I thought that was really cool. And they released it in black, white, and gold. There was a golden color. And so the 1984, super rare, only 3 released. Here, I have my notes. Copper Glow. That's what it was.
Nice.
I
love a good name, and I love a good color. It sounds like an awesome one.
I know, for sure. And they really focused on the suspension settings rather than going into the engine. So it's just really cool to see from 1984 to 1993 the Saleen Mustang and all the iterations that they did. And we have, of course, the Mustang on the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania event tee. And I love that.
Yeah, and when it comes to the hierarchy of performance Mustangs, I mean, Saleen is up there. Steve Saleen is still active, and I see him out and about at events, and his company's still pushing the bar with performance stuff. So it's great to see that, and also it's also neat to see that a Mustang from that era, that Fox body era, because we are seeing interest and rise in them in the auction block. That's a car that a lot of us remember when it was new. I actually had one growing up, and it's great to see them come full circle now, become collector pieces, particularly connecting with younger enthusiasts and bidders. And so I'm here for it because, again, the collector car world keeps expanding, and I love seeing all the new additions like that. And of course, I love the color of that shirt. It's blue. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Wait, tell me, you had one when you were younger?
I did not have a Saleen Mustang. I had a Fox body. So,
cool.
Had a 93 hatch.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, so a little near and dear to my heart seeing that.
Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. Wow.
And of course, while the Mustang and Saleen and all that performance is all American, Laurette, we're going to shift our attention overseas for today's show because we have a very specific theme, and that's looking at some of the best German tuned cars that are here across the block.
Of course. And so, adhering to that theme, Matt got into a very unique and special BMW.
BMW fans will notice three things about this hot hauler. First, it's an E36 Touring, a body style never offered here in America. Second, someone gave it the look of an M3. And third, it's packed with loads of custom touches that make it stand out. This generation of 3 Series is the E36, and during its US production run from 1992 through 1999, BMW sold the coupe, sedan, convertible, and compact hatchback, but never the touring wagon. So how did this end up here stateside? Now that these cars are more than 25 years old, enthusiasts are finally importing them, and that's why you'll notice the right-hand drive configuration. Starting with that rear foundation, more than $40,000 was invested to give this 328i the look of BMW's iconic performance-oriented M3. The bumper covers, mirrors, and badging are all M3, and the car's factory Arctic Silver was replaced with this bright yellow. 17-inch throwing star style wheels were added, and it sits low thanks to an air suspension. Inside the cabin, there's red leather upholstery and these heavily bolstered M3 spec front seats, while in the second row, a custom center console was added. And then there's the sound system. It starts with a Pioneer head unit, but where it really bumps is up top. Here in the roof rack is this Thule cargo box. No luggage up here, just a custom speaker box with loads of speakers. Add it all up, and it's definitely one of those unique what-if rides that we never saw in showrooms, but you can certainly find here crossing the auction block.
Matt, if the color yellow wasn't attention getting enough, then you have that entire speaker system that's up top. My goodness, talk about making an entrance. Would you have changed the color from silver to yellow?
So that's a good question, and I will say I think I would, because that yellow was an M3 spec color that only came on that trim. So I totally get what the person who put that build together was going for. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely a way to stand out. And Laurette, we were talking off air about that car, and I'm kind of geeking out a little bit, I will say.
Tell me why.
Well, I will say, so I was a BMW tech, and I was working for the brand during the era of the E36. And so I will say, to see a car like this, it caught me in my tracks, because as I explained in that package, so it's an E36, and what that means is that's not a badge. You're not going to see it on the car. That's an engineering series of how different kind of acronyms and codes are assigned to the vehicles, right? That you would never necessarily see from a customer standpoint, but as these cars grow in popularity, like Fox Body, for example, right? Where it's kind of internal classifications that then enthusiasts embrace. So the E36 was offered during the 90s and was replaced by the E46, but zeroing in on the 36. So here in the States, we never got that body style of a wagon. So that's why it's a right-hand drive, because now that those cars are 25 years, have been around for 25 years, enthusiasts are importing them stateside. And so that's totally what happened with this one, is that it's not just the rare body style, and then they also wanted it dressed up as that M3, and then the custom touches. So again, there's a lot going there for a BMW enthusiast to kind of just geek out over.
I love it. I love it. And, there's a lot of BMWs that are in Formula Drift as well. And so the guys are always talking about the E36s and how much they love that. So it's cool that you were able to pull something that, the U.S. market didn't get. And so bringing a brand new car to the enthusiast, not brand new, I know it's a little bit older, but bringing that to the forefront.
Yeah, it's kind of the same idea. We've talked about JDM, I'm saying from looking at the Asian automakers. It's kind of the same idea that here, as enthusiasts, you always want something unique and rare. And it doesn't necessarily mean the highest performing trim. A lot of enthusiasts just want something that when they pull up to the local Cars and Coffee, other people can be like, man, I've never seen something like that.
Totally.
And this wagon definitely checks the box. I would love to know the story, by the way, of the speaker, just the open top. That's got to be a party wherever it goes.
For sure.
But love the way that car was set up, and I think I would replicate it if I was going to do it again.
Yeah, speaking of German tuning, taking it down the Autobahn, right? Blasting, going as fast as you can, just a little. Yeah, down the Autobahn. But continuing with that theme, I also found a very special car that I was able to tell a little story about. Have you ever noticed that in the 1980s, subtlety just took the decade off? It's proof with this 1980 Porsche 930 Turbo Gemballa version 2. Porsche built a sports car, and Gemballa looked at it and said, nice. But what if it looked like it had just won a bodybuilding competition? It doesn't just arrive, it makes an entrance. The front bumper has vents, the sides are sculpted, the rear wing looks like it could generate enough downforce to pin a small helicopter. Porsche's 3.3-liter flat-six turbo paired with the legendary 4-speed that made the 930 both exhilarating and slightly terrifying to drive. It's a Euro-spec car with less than 72,000 miles, still with its original paint, Pirelli P7 tires, incredible documentation, and that wild 80s energy. Have a look at its interior, peak 80s decadence, custom leather, Recaro seats, high-end stereo, because apparently the turbo wasn't exciting enough. You also needed to blast synth pop while wrestling the steering wheel. Its owner road tripped this thing across 7 European countries, seeking out the twistiest alpine roads like some kind of Bavarian James Bond outlaw. And because it's a 930 turbo, once a boost finally arrives, the scenery doesn't blur, it simply resigns. Your passengers discover muscles they never knew they had, and your insurance company develops an eye twitch. Park it next to an ordinary 911 and the poor thing looks like it's apologizing for even existing. Only 9 version 2s were ever built, and just one was a coupe, which is probably sensible. The world could only cope with one automotive supervillain at a time.
Well done, Laurette.
Oh my gosh. Storytelling is so much fun. We have these incredible cars that are here at MECUM, and you have this very special version 2. It's the only coupe. Let's tell a story, right? And there's so much history with that car as well. So that was fun. And Alyssa, you're amazing. Alyssa, our filmer, producer, and editor. Yeah, that was really fun.
It was. Well done.
And thanks to Dom, too, for joining in on the madness. We appreciate him.
Yeah, big shout out to Dom, one of our great production assistants. I know he loves to tag along, but what a neat car. I will say, we were talking about this last night after the auction about the legacy of Gemballa and how that brand has endured and continues to raise the bar and deliver those over-the-top looks and performance. And I think it's neat. I love the black with the white pinstriping inside.
Isn't that cool?
Super
yeah,
cool.
like just these really beautiful custom touches, and it's a throwback to the 80s, the decadence. And I loved the interior. The car itself was just phenomenal looking. And I loved everything about it. It was just really, really, it's a really cool, I guess, piece of history, right? Because the documentation too, it talks about how Gemballa and the owner of this car sat down together, and they sat down together over dinner and decided to start building these cars, and he got the only coupe. And to take this car through 7 different countries and enjoy it and love it and drive it to the best of its abilities, right? Scaring the heck out of your passengers. I just think there's a lot of romanticism and lore with this car.
You know what's fascinating, Laurette, is that modifying 911s is kind of it's an interesting subject. You know, to a lot of enthusiasts, the 911 is perfection. You know, it's the car that most enthusiasts set their sights on owning at some point in their driving career. They want one in the garage, just because ever since Porsche rolled that out in the 60s, it has just been the purest form of connecting drivers with the road. And it's so fascinating that I feel like the trend of modifying those cars is growing, because again, a lot of enthusiasts would say, no way, leave it alone.
Yeah.
But we're seeing some people, and I think a lot of it has to do with kind of trailblazers like Gemballa, who said, hey, we can take that car and make it better. I just was recently in Knoxville, Tennessee, shooting an episode of On the Move, spotlighting the work of a shop, father-son shop there called Air Cooled Classics, that are also modifying 911. So I think it's interesting, again, because I know a lot of purists would say, no way, leave them alone. But I think we've seen time and time again, in the right hands, with the right vision, those cars can be dialed in even further.
What's your stance on it? Do you try to modify it, or do you leave it alone? Where do you stand?
I love seeing creativity. So I say Porsche knocked it out of the park. Porsche knocked it out of the park, of course, with the 911. But I do like seeing the creativity that's coming out of these shops. You know, again, around not just the country, but around the world, for people that are saying, hey, let's do something with that. So I say modify them. Again, show that personalization, show that customization, because I think that's what makes this hobby so great. And also, speaking of Gemballa, you know, that's not a one-off for us to see here at the auction. We were also talking, we've got another special Gemballa coming to Monterey.
Yeah, you're right. So that's the 2004 version. So, I mean, looking at the 2 different cars, the comparison is pretty wild, because you have the traditional Porsche 1960s body, and then you have this brand new, stretched out, completely different color, going to Monterey. So
yeah, so that also showcases just the swinging for the fence. So that's a Carrera GT coming to Monterey. By all accounts, kind of the supercar, the hypercar of the early 2000s, and Gemballa still said, no, let's do something with it. But so it's a good opportunity for us to spotlight the Gemballa. It's a good place here at Harrisburg for people to see one and keep your eyes peeled. You'll likely see one again crossing the block, and we all are excited to be out there for Monterey Car Week. So much in store next month.
yeah, I know. I can't believe that's right around the corner.
It is.
Monterey is just coming quick. Goodness.
But of course, we've talked about German vehicles crossing the block, Laurette, that are here in person. But we also have some very cool cars for people to encounter in the digital world.
Very nice.
And you got to catch up. And here's a spotlight on what's happening in Fortnite.
The Sunday Car Club Hub is full of action. I'm here with Adam Blazer, the founder of Sunday Car Club. And Adam, I want to know, what is it?
Sunday Car Club is an experience in Fortnite, first and foremost. And we're kind of building a little bit of a community here for youngsters to get familiar with the world of automotive at large, but also the world of MECUM and what it means to have a car collection, what it means to value a car. We built this game as a way to give kids a peek into that world, and we're really grateful for the partnership with MECUM to be able to do that.
And you've also built in some cars that are going to be crossing the auction block into the game. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, kids can kind of go through the island, we call it, walk around and buy cars that are driving around. They can trade them with one another. And yes, some of those are actually cars that are crossing the block here. We call it Sunday Car Club because our intention is to have updates every Sunday with new cars that you can collect, new upgrades to those cars. Tomorrow we're launching a new mini game which is we call a prop hunt. So those will also feature 3 of the cars that are going across the block here.
Okay, so what about the big kids? How do the big kids get to play? Is it only available here, or is it also online for all the gamers at home?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So it's available for free today anywhere in the world on Fortnite. You just search Sunday Car Club and you'll see it there. Yeah, you go in and play with your Fortnite account. You can leave, come back. It saves your progress. So your collection, your garage will always be there. And as we evolve the map, the game, you'll be able to do more and more stuff with it.
Incredible. Oh my goodness, that is so much fun. So for everyone here that's in Pennsylvania that wants to have a go at it, try their hand at this incredible game. Once you walk in through the entrance, it is directly on your right-hand side. So don't miss the opportunity to come over and say hello to Adam and come and play for Sunday Car Club. How much fun is that?
So much fun.
So much fun. I tried my hand at it. I'm terrible. I'm not a natural gamer, but Adam was walking me through how to get through the different places, because you can buy cars. You can buy cars at an auction and store them in your garage, and the cars stay there. So until you auction the cars off, your favorite cars stay there, but you have to earn cash in order to buy your favorite cars. So it's just really cool. It was a new experience for me, and I think everyone should come over and try to play.
Yeah, I love all the Easter eggs. You saw there at the end. I love how they included even the MECUM in the Morning logo.
Yeah.
And some other, and they've really done a great job of attention to detail. It was funny because I know we've been talking about German cars. I noticed a modified 911 across the block, as well as a Volkswagen Beetle. But so cool that they're able to replicate some of the full-size cars and bring them into that island within the game. And of course, all that, Laurette, is to further connect with the next generation of enthusiasts that are, I think, getting their loves for cars sparked in that digital environment, through their adolescence, playing the video games, and then, of course, getting them ready for when they get their license and want to start driving on their own and have that bond also with older family members or friends that love cars. It's a great way to make all that happen.
It is. Yeah. And there's a couple of young children that were walking around. I'm like, hey guys, do you want to come over and play? And I said, Adam will show you how to do it. They sat down and they knew exactly what to do and started just going to town. And I just thought, yeah, of course they don't need any help. They've been doing this pretty much their whole little existence, right? They already know how to game and how to make the game work. So I was excited for them. That was fun.
Yeah, and if you're coming out to join us here at the auction, you can encounter that right on the MECUM red carpet right behind us, right past the entrance. You can talk with Adam and get a taste of that MECUM island in Fortnite for yourself. And our time is just about over, Laurette. I know we need to talk tomorrow's show about the road trip partners, because that was a comment we wanted to hear from our viewers. If you're taking a road trip, who would you want in the car?
Yes. Okay, so how about, since we're German engineering, would you rather road trip Route 66, or would you rather road trip on the Autobahn?
I like it.
No speeds. Let's see. Do we go U.S. road trip, or do we go Fast and Furious in the Autobahn?
I like it. Yeah, I'm a Route 66 guy.
Nice
So,
and nice and cruisy.
easy. Put some tunes on, stop at the roadside stops. I love it. But yeah, let us know. That's a great one. And also, it's a good reminder too that, of course, there's so much online, not just Fortnite, to encounter MECUM auctions. You can now catch so much content streaming 24/7 on Roku. MECUM TV is on Roku and Prime Video. You can find past auctions, but you can also find some very special new content that is debuting there tomorrow. We talked about this on yesterday's show. You can find, produced by our show producer, Alyssa Bridges, the cars of the 40s and 50s. It's a full spotlight on that unique era, including some coastal vibes, where I am super jealous that Alyssa went and hung out with some Woody owners. Awesome. All that is debuting tomorrow, as well as 2 brand new episodes of my show, On the Move. You can catch that. So when you're done with the auction, you can settle in and catch up on all of that on streaming. And also, let's make a mention, too, that here at the auction on Saturday, tomorrow, Laurette, you can find Derek Berry is going to be in the Wildfire Lifts area, meeting with fans, signing autographs. I can't wait to ask him what he's drugged out of some farm field or
Out of the barn, out of the
Out of the
garage, what he's working on,
Yeah.
what he's found.
and that's a good segue because that's our theme for tomorrow's show. But you have to tune in for more on that.
Yeah, so much to do at MECUM, more than cars. It's all about family memories, experiences, games. Listen, our show tomorrow is going to be great. It is Saturday morning, and we have more in store for you tomorrow. So don't forget to join us. Same time, same place at 8:30. Right, Matt?
Absolutely, 8:30 tomorrow, and of course, a full day ahead today here with the auction starting very soon. Thanks for joining in for the official pre-auction live show. We'll see you here tomorrow.